microphones so that they can hear us. Oops, I lost my Caleb. What's up, you guys? Give me 1 second so I can, what am I looking at? Oh, there we go. There he is. Welcome to the Movies.
Did you bring me back finally?
I don't know that I did anything, dude. We got some weird stuff going on your end, and it might be my computer.
Well, I see it. I got lines on my face. I got all kinds of stuff.
Let me see what happens. Okay, there he is. So now, are you moving? But then when I close the browser, okay. So I got to keep that open. On my Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Movies Are Terrible Live podcast. Every Thursday night at 6 p.m. CST, give or take a minute or two. Sometimes we gotta shake the dust off. You know how it is. I mean,
well, also too, it's me. I get off work like 2 minutes before we start.
That's fair, but I don't know. I don't think you did anything wrong. I think my computer is just it's messing with me right now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so come on, Jeremy, make it happen. So yeah, as always, we've got some weird news headlines that we're going to discuss with you. We've got some Florida Man headlines, and I promise this time I'm going to get all the front-loaded stuff knocked out within a reasonable amount of time so that we can eventually get into movies. I realize that a lot of times lately we've been spending more time before the movies than we are on the movies. And I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't hate it, but it is a movie podcast. So we'll go 10 minutes longer.
Is it a movie podcast? It's a movie podcast in name.
Yeah. That's actually a fair critique. I'm glad you said that, Caleb. See, we've got to change that, I guess. All right. So yeah, we've got some weird news that we're going to discuss. But before we do, I like to say shout out to all of the Team Terrible MVPs, those of you guys that are in the chats, being a part of the community, dropping suggestions for topics and questions and all of these wonderful things over on Patreon. You guys are the best, and I really do appreciate it. Always great to see new people in the chats as well. Welcome, Lucas. Obviously, we got the Team Terrible MVP usual suspects like Brad and King of the Hills and Random Andy's channel. Let's see. We got Mark McKeever in the chat. Man, thank you guys for stopping by to hang out. Yeah, got a pretty stuffed show. So before we do get into it, Caleb, what have you been watching, man? You seen anything good this last week?
I watched some documentary about transhumanism for my wife's film class.
Okay.
But it was all right. It wasn't great or bad. It was just kind of there. I did watch The Dead Don't Die
the Jim Jarmusch movie.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a bad horror film. It's a bad comedy. It's a bad drama. It doesn't succeed at any of them. And somehow I didn't hate it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it is so like mundane. There are so many zombie movies. There's a lot of Jim Jarmusch movies at this point, but yeah, it still worked for me. Tilda Swinton with a katana blade is never gonna not be awesome to me.
No, and that's the thing is, it's just star power at this point, but it's so good.
Isn't she's a mortician who is
she's a samurai mortician. It's funny because saying that sounds so much funnier than it's portrayed in the movie.
Yes, because everything is so low key. But yeah, okay. So and then what is for the people that aren't me, because I totally know what it is. What's transhumanism?
So transhumanism is people wanting to essentially cyberpunk out and put cybernetics in them. And, go beyond the point of normal humanity. And the documentary stance started off pro, and it was saying like all the advancements from disabilities and stuff. And by the end of it, it's kind of like, well, yeah, people have disabilities, but we should just we should just accept it. Like we should just accept it and not try to better it, which I personally take a little bit of a different stance. I'm like, no, we absolutely should try to fix disabilities. That doesn't mean people with disabilities are less than human. They are not 100%. In fact, that's the thing I think a big problem in our society is I don't think we treat people with disabilities proper.
We could probably give them the option instead of speaking for them. Like, hey, do you want an implant? All right, cool.
The video too, it is a lot of people doing it. There's like one guy who's like, yeah, definitely, I've devoted my life to this and like cybernetic legs. And the others are like, no, but it's like, we should not do this. We should put money elsewhere. And I'm like, I don't know. it's fine if you don't want it. I agree. There's nothing quote unquote wrong with you. You're a human being.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not going to speak for other people and take the option away from them
Yeah, right.
because
Right.
I'm not even disabled and I still want robot legs.
I was gonna ask first. Let me shout out Patrick Stewart. Thank you very much for the super chat, Patrick. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. He says he can't stay out to dinner with family. Love you, bro. Keep doing great content, Jeremy. See you soon. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the encouragement. It means a lot. I think I seem to be actively trying to kill my channel. I've said this a couple times lately, but I feel like I might need to. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to stick with the watching shitty movies until it just is like, all right, this is
until you're not anymore.
Yeah. Basically, we're going to see if it sticks cuz I do enjoy doing it, but I watched a movie speaking of like watching along, doing a video for it. First time watching, I there was a movie that I haven't seen. It's about 14 years old. And I finally checked it out yesterday. But before we get to that, okay, so you said you would go robotic legs. You would get enhanced legs.
I get enhanced everything.
No, all right. So no, we got to put limitations on it. You've got
I would
one
be like
modification.
Just one?
Yeah. One modification, Caleb.
So it would be something mental then. It would be like some sort of computer chip in the brain. It's something to make me more intelligent.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with it. Because like legs would be cool, but I ain't running anywhere. You know what I mean? Not in a hurry.
Well, maybe if you had robot legs, you would.
It's a reasonable assessment. Yeah, that's possible. So I watched Passion of the Christ in honor of Easter. Caleb, you seen that?
Never have. I have one story with Passion of the Christ. I might have even told it on this. And I went to a video store when it came out and I was a teenager. And the lady was like, "Oh, have you seen Passion of the Christ?" I was like, No. And she kind of started lecturing me. It's like, "You need to say this so you can be saved." And I said, "Well, I saved a couple bucks by not watching it." She did not like that at all.
No.
That's my only thing. I heard it's good though. I heard it's actually a really good film.
No, it's not.
It's not? Is this just the angry atheist in you, or is it actually not a good film?
Very hard to say, Caleb. Look, I feel like I'm going to have to put 3 disclaimers before this video. And maybe I don't have to, but I happen to know a bunch of great Christians. A lot of my good friends. You know, I live in a very Christian area. A lot of the people I do content with. And I don't really have an issue with whatever your religion is. I don't even know if I can say that, dude, because
I can honestly vouch for you as someone who literally on like half the issues we fall on different sides. You're definitely not anti-religion. Like you're not one of the by any stretch of the imagination.
I am anti Mel Gibson movie, I think, because, and I know I can sit here and rhetorically ask why. What is the point of this movie? Well, Jeremy, the point of it is to illustrate accurately the suffering that Christ did during the Passion so that you could be absolved of your sins. I get it. I understand what the point of it is, but it's very isolating for somebody that's not a Christian. And I just like, it's an hour and 45 minutes of a man getting fucking debased, like dehumanized, fucking kicked, hit, beat, stabbed, fucking whipped, just... It's so disturbing, and after about 20 minutes, I like really had a a crisis of conscience, and was like, should I continue to watch this? But it's crazy because we both watch a lot of fucked up movies, so I don't know what the difference is, but something about it just set me off, dude.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't really like movies like that. Not even the religious part, but exactly what you said, like watching someone just get tortured doesn't sound like an interesting movie to me.
No, it was very hard to watch, but there will be a video coming out on Easter Sunday, so you guys get ready for that. Brad Feddick, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Thanks for the shout out. Godzilla vs. Kong, 4 out of 5 or 9 out of 10. Amazing movie. Can't wait to hear your take on it. All right, yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit, and then also there is a review coming out hopefully tomorrow. I'm still waiting on some footage to show up. And then also on Saturday, there's going to be a live stream of it. I'm going to see if Caleb will have watched it by then. We'll see how that goes. We're definitely going to be doing just a big, you know, just like we did about WandaVision, just like we did about Justice League after that. So stop by Saturday morning. We'll be doing a live stream about Godzilla versus Kong. What else, man? You seen anything else good over the week?
So I tried to watch Tenet.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Twice. So I first watched about 45 minutes of it, um, and couldn't get into it. But I was like, maybe I'm not in the right headspace. So I went back and I put it in VR because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just tune out the world, and really concentrate on it. I got about to the same point and just I gave up on it
What's the
again.
point?
So it's actually not that far in. I mean, it's like probably 40 minutes in.
No, I mean in life, dude. Like, what's the point?
What's the point?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I got to the point where she's explaining how the bullets are inverted and all that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there's a couple of things for me that threw me off. One is the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't buy him as a badass. Like I'm trying to get past it. And I'm like, for me, I mean, I've never seen the guy. I don't even know who he is, but comes off very like, I could picture him playing like a rich kid in an Ivy school. I could picture him playing a lawyer. I could picture him playing a doctor. Tough guy. I'm just like, I don't buy it.
You know who he is. You don't know who he is.
I don't know who he is.
Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington. He is in No, sorry. Let me try that again. He's in Black Klansman. I was about to say Undercover Brother. He was in Black Klansman.
Very different movies.
Oh, hell. Similar, though. He's an undercover KKK guy, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah. He goes undercover and infiltrates the KKK. It's great. But anyways, I can say all that to say I can understand where you're coming from. He kicks a lot of butt in the movie, but it's not the most convincing.
There's something about him. I'm like, this guy's soft. And not as a knock on him, I think that he's an actor, but like there's something about him that I just feel that when I look at him, and I don't know what it is.
That's the thing that you can't get past, though.
No, that's not it.
All right,
and for me, Christopher Nolan is just very hit or miss. Like I either watch Dunkirk and Memento and go, my God, these are masterpieces, or I watch his other stuff and I don't hate him. I don't think I've seen movies I've hated of his. That would be way too harsh. I see a lot of movies where I'm like, it's a movie. Like it doesn't really leave an impression on me. And this, for me, does it. And I feel like, and I texted to you, I feel like when I was watching it, it kind of clicked. It reminds me of every like spy, the way they're directing shot, every like spy action movie from the late 90s, early 2000s. It's kind of how he directs them.
Man, I had such a different experience with that one in particular, but I do echo your thoughts about Christopher Nolan. He's not my favorite consistently. I really do like what he's doing. I think he's got a fucking surgeon's precision when it comes to being able to direct a really good, just suspenseful action sequence. I love the opera scene at the beginning of Tenet, but it does kind of get lost in the sauce. Like at some point, that exposition dump where she's basically like, just roll with it. Like none of this makes any sense. Just roll with it.
See, that's where you and me are different. One of my biggest gripes is I don't personally think he's that good at directing action.
What?
I like everything else different.
Huh.
Like, I feel like I'm watching, I'm like, this isn't an action director, but he is. I mean, I don't know. But like, then I watch Dunkirk and the action's incredible. So I don't know.
I don't think he's an actor's director. I would push back against that and say, I don't think he's great with performers because his scripts tend to be, and I mean, I'm not the first person to say this. They tend to be more, cerebral than they do like naturalistic or emotional. They feel stilted because the characters all are so Nolan-esque.
Well, and I agree with that. I think I like his scripts a lot of times more than I like his movies. Like I'm always like, ooh, I like this concept more than I like the execution. But then there's other ones where I'm like, man, this guy's a genius.
Yeah.
He's just very hit or miss for me.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
That being said, I don't want to pass judgment on it yet because I will finish it. And there's been a billion movies where I finished them and I'm like, wow, I was really wrong about this.
Why don't you start 45 minutes in next time?
That's what I've got to do. I'm not going to just jump in and rewatch the first 45 minutes.
Man, I can never get past that 45. Start at minute 46, bro. See how that works.
Just get in.
All right, so this week's weird news. We got two stories that stood out to me. Nothing that's really gonna like blow the minds like the naked lady rowing him around the sewers last week. However, there was this dog. This made CNN. It was in the local news first, but there was a stray dog that kept stealing a stuffed unicorn from a Dollar General. So animal control bought it for him. So it's this lab mix dog. And he kept on going into a Dollar General, because they've got the automatic doors. I'm looking at the wrong camera. They got the automatic doors, so it would go in, find this purple stuffed unicorn, and then just walk out with it over and over again.
And it took animal control to do it. It didn't take like an employee just to give it to him.
They're like, we got to get the pound down here. Somebody put this dog to sleep. They're like, no, it seems like a nice dog. They put the story on social media, and of course, it immediately went viral, and the dog got adopted like, within hours.
Oh, okay. That's good. I mean, that's a happy ending to the story. I mean, I'm just like, it's a Dollar General. Just give it the damn thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was just wondering, like, what are the quality of the people that have adopted this dog? Are they cat burglars? You know what I mean? Do they want to use the dog for nefarious purposes, run in there and steal shit from Walmarts? You know what I mean? You don't know these people.
Did you see the chat? Your face is over my face. I'm double-faced right now.
Oh, man, that's a bitch. All right.
No, I would have just given it to him. I mean, it's the dollar store,
You wouldn't get the dog put to sleep?
No, over stealing something from a dollar store?
All right. Just making sure, man.
My brother worked at a dollar store. Do you know how much people steal from dollar stores? It's unreal.
Yeah, and as an employee, you're just kind of just supposed to, like, turn the other cheek talking about Passion of the Christ. You're just like, yeah, all right, go on, steal my shit. Like they teach you that in training most places.
So my brother actually, when someone was stealing a bunch of, I forgot what it was. It was something to make meth, some like pills. And they like loaded up a cart and ran out, and he ran out and chased them just instinctively. And they pulled a gun on him, and he's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to work here anymore. No. Getting guns pulled on me at the dollar store for like $7 an hour.
Damn. And probably for $7 worth of goods. Like, where are you going with those Skittles?
Dude, that's like, we went to a Walmart the other day to buy formula, and the formula was locked up. People out here still in formula.
Damn.
Yeah,
hard times.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy.
Hard times for everybody. So this came from the Lad Bible. Like, I found it one place, and it was a very strange publication, and I was like, man, I don't know if I can trust the articles there. So I Googled it, and I found like 2 other ones, and then I finally came across Lad Bible, and I was like, there you go. That's a fucking publication you can trust for your news.
That's the real deal. That is at this point, man, it's all probably the same.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, fucking New York Times is going to run with an article based on this article.
Everything has become just like paparazzi bullshit anymore.
But, I mean, there are people out there, though, that are legitimately doing good work. Like this pastor accused of farting in the faces of congregation.
What? So he purposely farted in people's faces?
Yeah, that's like, like there was that one guy, I think his name was Ken Baker, that would like hit you on your head and you fall the fuck out and start. So I guess this is like that, only with farts.
He would just like drink holy water and give you a holy misting.
A pastor accused of farting in the faces of his congregation has defended his unorthodox methods. Photos of Pastor Christ Penelope sitting on the heads of people at Sevenfold Holy Spirit Ministries recently circulated on social media, with one attendee complaining, when we come to church, it's because we need prayers, not to be farted on.
So what was he defended it. What did he say?
Oh, see, we're about to get to that. He said God did anything with the body of Adam while he was on the ground in deep sleep. He was not feeling anything. Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. Let me back up. Speaking to him, he said, it started with Master Jesus when he stepped on Peter. It is the demonstration of God's power. Just like God made Adam go into a deep sleep. It's a similar thing. The Bible doesn't say anything about Adam saying, God, you are hurting me. So basically, because Jesus stood on Adam, he farts on his congregation.
That makes sense. I could see that logic. Here we are giving him shit. He's a genius.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we trust our religious leaders to transcribe the text for us, or to translate it to the best of their knowledge. And if
they say farts are the way of God, then farts are the way of God.
Oh, dude. What if he said you had to inhale it? Like you had to put your mouth up to his butt and suck it.
That's how you do it.
I don't know what's the answer to that? That would be gross.
I mean, at this point, you might as well. He's over here farting on people's heads.
Dude, it is such a weird story.
I just don't understand, like, the leap in logic that he did.
No.
Where he's like, okay, yeah, so they sit on their heads, I'm going to fart on people's heads.
Dude, I don't know. Let's see what Lucas said. That's weird. I farted right when you said fart. When they wake up from deep sleep, they will tell you they didn't feel anything. It's showing the power of God, and those who needed healing are healed afterwards, and others get to manifest at that moment. Remember when people try to tarnish your image? This is when he shows you his glory. And I can go on. This guy's obviously not afraid to do some statements about it, but the picture's hilarious. He really is sitting. It looks like he's sitting on AstroTurf with a person laying on the ground under him. He's just farting on their head. And then the picture above that, he's sitting in like a lawn chair.
He's sitting in a lawn chair.
Damn it. How do I share this with you, bro? Let's see.
No, let me just search pastor farting. I'm sure I can, find something.
The pictures are amazing.
Pastor
Absolutely
farting.
amazing.
Oh, the South African guy?
Yes.
Okay, South African
Do you
pastor.
see the
farts on
picture of
people's
him in the
face.
lawn chair?
Yeah, what the hell? He straight up lays him on the floor and sits on him.
Just chilling too, dude.
Dude, and this dude looks like such a grifter, just like the way he's sitting and everything.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm curious if farting is actually part of it or just sometimes he happens to fart. You know what I mean? Like, it's understandable. He's like, look, sitting on their heads is the thing that I'm doing, and if I fart, it's God's will.
He's like, there's just been an outbreak of pink eye in my church. And I have no idea why.
Man, these are the kind of Easter stories that I cherish. All right, so Florida Man news. We're gonna switch gears and talk about some Florida Man stories. This one was pretty cool. This is from Newport Richie from Patch.com. Florida man with shovel wins gunfight. He was shot 3 times, but ultimately subdued his attacker, deputies say. What do you think about the guy that gets shot 3 times and stops his attacker with a shovel?
Yeah, well, I don't know if win is the correct terminology.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, good on him. I mean, he couldn't have died, so I guess that's winning there, not dying.
He's bleeding out. He's got 3 gunshots, and I'm like, you should see the other guy. And the other guy's got one of those big cartoon lumps on his head and little stars fucking floating around.
What started the altercation, did they say?
Let's see here. According to Patch.com, a 26-year-old Orlando man shot 3 times during a Friday morning robbery in Hudson managed to pick up a shovel and beat his attacker. So he was being robbed at 4:26 in the morning. And the case reference unfolded at the Players Club bar when dude of Orlando walked out of the bar and got into his truck in an attempt to leave. As he was in his truck, a man approached the driver's side door without warning and fired 5 shots from a fucking handgun. Injured but not giving up without a fight, he got out of his truck and grabbed his attacker. Holy shit, dude. This guy is like a superhero.
Dude, it's plot twist. It's Ash from Evil Dead, and he swung it and just chopped off the head.
Yes. Striking a witness to the attack stepped in at that point, striking the gunman with a wait a second. This just took a turn. I thought the guy.
Oh, so the witness saved.
Okay, so Florida.
So
man
that guy
shovel.
definitely didn't win the battle.
No, that guy just got shot up. Oh, okay. Well, it's different. It's a different story now.
It's not as good.
No.
It's still good, and thank God he was there with his shovel in hand, ready to just beat people up. But
dude,
this reminds me of Super, like James Gunn Super, where he just walks around the wrench, just beating people.
Yeah, dude, that movie is something else.
It's incredible. James Gunn's best movie, you think?
As of right now, Guardians, man. I'm going Guardians.
It's I don't know, man. I've got to
Super
go
is
Super.
Fucked up.
Super then Guardians, but they're both just like 9 out of 10 incredible films.
I just can't believe how they did our boy Elliot, man. That shit was fucking heavy.
Which one? Who's Elliot?
Elliot Page. Shot in the face. Dead as a fucking doornail. Spoilies. Needs to read the story first. Shut up, Brad. I'm reading the story with you. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, wait. I guess in this case, maybe I could have read it beforehand. Fine. Note taken. Thank you for that, Brad. Appreciated. All right. We got one more Florida man story, and this one's a winner. This one's a winner. I'm sure you guys are all going to appreciate this one as much as I do. Florida man breaks Guinness World Record for watching Avengers Endgame 191 times.
It was you. That's the plot twist.
Plot twist, yeah.
It was you and Holden sitting in a room.
In a movie theater.
In a movie theater?
Bro, that's like $2,000 worth of Avengers Endgame.
How do you have that much time in it to do it?
I would think you would have never been able to leave the theater since that shit, opened or whatever.
Yeah, that's insane.
Huh.
That's insane.
Okay, so the movie is approximately 2.5 hours. We're looking at 200 at 2.5 hours. We're looking at 500 hours. Is that right? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good movie.
I don't know. I didn't finish it one time, so kudos on this, dude.
I think I've seen it, 3, 4 times. Like a lot, like and a reasonable amount.
A lot, but not to the point where you're a psycho.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before on the show, but everybody wasn't here to witness the glory that is the story of the movies that I've seen the most time in the theaters. But I saw Jurassic Park like 4 times in the theaters, Blade, Mortal Kombat, and Jurassic Park, all about that. And maybe Independence Day, all like 3 or 4 times in the theaters. What about you?
I've seen probably Batman Returns like twice. I don't see movies a lot more than once. I saw Guardians 3 times. I saw the 2014 Ninja Turtles 3 times. And that's probably about it. To me, I'm one of those weird people. The more I like a movie, like if I watch a movie and I'm like, this is a masterpiece, I typically never watch it again.
Really? Victoria thinks it's weird that I rewatch movies, but there are some movies, like, for example, and we'll talk a little bit more about it here coming up, but a movie like Godzilla vs. Kong has so much replay in it for me.
Well, and that's the thing it is. The movies I've seen the most are typically not great movies.
Yeah, sure.
Great movies tend to hit you on an emotional level, and they're require your full attention. A movie that you can rewatch numerous times doesn't require all that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I definitely it's unhealthy. I watch Godzilla movies like, I don't know, 3, 4, 7 nights out of the week.
Just constantly Godzilla on.
My wife was like, I guess we're watching Godzilla again.
I watch the only thing I watch seriously every day. There's something I watch every single day, and that is Futurama every single day.
It's a damn good show, man. It's a damn good show.
Honestly, it's the point, like, I fall asleep to it. It's like my comfort zone thing.
Yeah, same. That's the deal with, Mystery Science Theater and Godzilla. So I'll mix it up, man. But this Florida man 191 times. You guys in the chat, let us know. Or in the comment section afterwards. What is the most viewings you've ever done of a single movie in the theaters? And then what's the most viewed movie you've ever seen? Because once I start looking outside of theaters, there are movies like Addams Family, the 1989 Batman, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Scarface, Pulp Fiction, Desperado. There are movies I've seen 100
Mine
times.
would have to be all my Christmas movies, which some of them aren't even. So my number one, which is not a Christmas movie, but I watch it every Christmas Eve, is the 1990 Ninja Turtles. Okay. There's nothing to do with Christmas in it. I just watch it on Christmas Eve. And then I've seen it occasionally throughout. So that's definitely my number one. Then Batman Returns, Muppet Christmas Carol. Those are probably...
Good one.
Oh, and then Bad Santa. I watch Bad Santa at least once a year.
A Christmas Carol. Or no, I'm sorry. Christmas Story I've seen a lot.
Yes. I knew what you meant. A Christmas Story is incredible.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So those are a couple for us. Go ahead and light up those comment sections, guys. Let us know what are some of the movies that you've seen a bunch of times. Andy has seen 1917 and Infinity War 4 times at the theaters. Man, what a great experience at the movie theaters 1917 was.
Dude, that's maybe what I'll watch tonight, just depending on, when my daughter falls asleep. I purposely bought it on Amazon so I could watch it in VR because it's one I missed in theaters. and it seems like you need to see it that way.
I forgot that you had mentioned that to me, and you did. Sure enough, tell me last week. So yeah, you got to let me know how you end up liking that one.
It was like Dunkirk. I saw Dunkirk in the theater, and it just changed the whole experience. Like, I don't know if I would have loved it if I saw it at home.
You know, I haven't seen Dunkirk.
For me, it's Nolan's second best film.
Behind Memento.
Yeah, Memento's still just incredible.
Memento's good, man. Did you ever see Following? It's only like an hour long.
No, I never did.
It's all right. I mean, it's like definitely a precursor to Memento. But yeah, man, I like old Christopher Nolan shit for sure. Somebody asked about The Fountain earlier, which I don't think is Christopher Nolan. He did The Prestige, which was similar. Did you see The Fountain?
No, never even heard of it. I don't even know which one The Fountain is.
John Cusack, I believe, was a magician. Like, it was very similar in time to when Prestige came out. It was like kind of a Volcano Dante's Peak situation.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Deep Impact Armageddon.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the deal. All right, 191 fucking times, dude. That guy needs to get a job.
He obviously has one if he's paying for that many tickets.
It's a good point. All right. So we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna talk about movie news. It is about 6:30, so I'd say we're making pretty good time. Normally this is like a 7:05 thing. Yeah. And I do have some great questions that I had submitted, as well as topics from the Patreon page. If you yourself want to consider having your topics discussed on the show, head over and check out Movies Are Terrible on Patreon. You can just Google it, or you can check down in the description. I will post a link down there and just take a look at the different tiers, decide which one's right for you, and then maybe when the time comes, you can consider supporting our little corner of the internet. The YouTube, whatever, wherever we are. I don't know where we're at. What's going on?
We're more than YouTube, so it's the internet.
It's a good point. Thank you, Caleb. I forget sometimes. I feel like I'm so playing to YouTube all the time, but dude, we're getting like a good couple dozen listens on the podcast every week.
I'm telling you, and people are terrible. We always got like 10 times more on audio than we did on YouTube.
Yeah, we do all right on audio for sure. We do all right on audio. It's a different experience for me, I guess, because we stream it live here. But.
Yeah, and this is where the community is, and you can talk to people. It is different.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's you guys. Thank you. And you guys are absolutely not just like on a emotional level or like some abstract way. Like, you guys are literally a part of the show. I say your fucking names in it every single week, so like you can go back in 20 years from now and you're still going to be a part of this podcast. That's pretty dope. Just wanted to
we're going to be doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, buddy. I'm going to be looking good in 20 years, man.
Dude, I'm going to be so old and fat and flabby. I'm going to look like the guy from Blade, the big fat vampire. That's what I look like.
Pearl, I never was able to tell, bro. I told you, I've seen that movie a lot. It took me several times, and I'm still not sure. Like, right now as I'm saying it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Pearl is the name of that vampire. I always thought it was a female. Are you telling me it's a male?
It's a dude.
All right. Dude, I'm just asking.
No, it has to be.
Why are you fucking yelling at me, bro?
Dude, now you got me. I'm like, I've seen that movie a ton. Is it a woman this whole time I know?
I think the name is Pearl.
Blade. Let's see.
There's going to be like a oyster thing, a pearl blade. I don't know. Some fucking RPG game where you get a pearl blade.
Pearl. Actor was Erik Edwards, so I'm assuming.
It's a dude.
Yeah.
All right. Dude named Pearl. That's progress.
Heck yeah.
That's progress.
Way ahead of its time. It was body positivity before it.
Man, no porn stories to mention. You're blowing through the live. Not this week. I looked. I did what I could. There was a couple of not as fun stories.
He looked. He just went to Pornhub and was like, yeah. I looked.
Yeah, I looked like 5 or 6 days this week.
Yeah.
I did see a video. I just didn't know how we could discuss it, but there was a Florida story, and it was an alligator and a shark swimming next to each other, and it was it was pretty cool looking. Yeah. All right. What else is going on, Caleb? Let's see. Oh, dude, apparently, and this is great news for everyone, Star Wars Ewok Adventure Battle of Endor is coming to Disney Plus. And this is great news because supposedly it's like the most hardcore of the Star Wars movies, and I haven't seen it before.
I loved those Ewok movies growing up.
Okay.
Loved them. I haven't seen them since I was a kid, but I loved it.
This says the darkest Star Wars of them all is easily Ewoks The Battle of Endor. Proceed with caution. What?
That's probably why I liked it. I always like dark, weird stuff.
What happens in this movie, dude? They like napalm the fucking Ewoks.
They're all just burning. Oh, yes. This one's awesome with those weird, creepy dudes. I love this movie.
I'm going to have to watch this.
Yeah, because there's only one of these. No, this movie's incredible. Well, I remember. Little Caleb thinks it's incredible. I haven't seen it in a long time.
There's Battle for Endor and Caravan of Courage.
Caravan of Courage. Battle for Endor is better. I love both of these films.
Sequel that delivers one of the most shocking displays of carnage in a family movie franchise. What is it?
I don't know. I don't remember. A lot of kids were kind of just little bitches, so maybe it's not even that bad.
Lucas decides to kill off literally every single member of this family except for the little girl. Oh, come on. That's Disney formula, man.
That's Star Wars too. You know,
Yeah.
like killing family members. Here's my thing is you have Anakin go kill a whole group of little kids. I don't know if you can get more dark than episode 3.
Yes. He blades down. What am I trying? Cuts down a bunch of little kids. And yeah, Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen get burned in the...
Yeah. So I actually, well, I was going to say I'll sign up for Disney Plus. I will use your Disney Plus to watch these movies just for nostalgia's sake.
Alex W., you have a very weird definition of good news for everyone, especially in the middle of a pandemic. Great news, the Ewoks are coming to Disney Plus. Thank you for that. That one's getting pinned here for a little bit anyways. Enjoy that. Yeah, I don't know, man. They're like, I know they're selling it as if it's really dark, and maybe it is. Oh, those things are cool looking, bro. I'm looking at the super cool aliens right now.
The aliens are so dope in this.
Yeah, I'm into it. Oh, wait a second, dude. And that, I'm not sure for sure, but you guys in the chat probably are for sure. That little, like frog thing that the person's mounted riding on the back of, that's what, dude from season 1 of, Mandalorian rides, right?
I haven't seen any Mandalorian, so I don't know.
I'm terrible with remembering what the names of any of those characters are, but you guys know in the chat. Let me know. So we're going to check that out. That one's going down for sure. And in addition to that, even more just amazing news, guys. This is going to blow your minds. Best news since 2019. Stephen Yeun is joining Jordan Peele's next film.
That's actually interesting. I really like Stephen Yeun, so.
I do too, man. I like both of them quite a bit.
Yeah, it's weird. Jordan Peele movies are movies that I always respect more than I like, but I'm super happy they exist.
I liked Us so much more than most other people that I know. In fact, I actually preferred it to Get Out.
For me, Get Out I loved minus the humor. The humor took me out of it a lot. Like, I would like to see him really go balls to the wall and take out all the humor, because he's an incredible director.
This will be his, I believe, just his third film, and it's Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya, as well as Stephen Yeun. Right. So I don't know if Stephen Yeun is starring in it. In fact, I think it's Keke Palmer and is the main person in it. She was really good in, if I'm not mistaken, it's the girl from Queen and Slim, as well as the one where she was dating the Indian guy that's in Marvel now, who got really buff.
Keke Palmer? That name sounds so familiar.
Kamal Nanjiani is that guy's name. Keke Palmer, yeah, you would recognize her if you saw her. But I'm very curious to see what Jordan Peele continues to do.
I know exactly who Keke Palmer is. Real pretty girl.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I know exactly who she is.
And I feel like Stephen Yeun's kind of having a moment right now. Like, I feel like he just now directed a movie this year. And I feel like he has the makings of being somebody that's really successful. I think he's really good in Mayhem. I loved Glenn in The Walking Dead. You like that, right?
Incredible,
Yeah, man.
incredible. He's in what's that other one? The one that's getting all the Academy Award nominations.
That's the one that I'm talking
Yeah,
about, and I
did
don't
he
know.
directed that too?
Maybe not. Maybe
Oh,
not.
okay.
Let's see.
No, he's an. I really like him. Isn't he also the voice in? Didn't he do the voice for the Amazon new show?
Yeah, Invincible. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He is having a moment right now.
Minari, that's the name. Yeah.
Yeah. Good things for him, man.
He's an incredible actor. He deserves it. I mean, he for me was by far the star of Walking Dead for me. Like every scene he's in, he steals.
I got a question for you. This is this is totally changing gears, but how many good movies does a filmmaker need to have before you can consider them a great filmmaker? Does Jordan Peele need 5 good movies before we can say like he's one of the greats? Do they need 10 good movies?
I think it needs to be a percentage thing, wouldn't you say?
That's what I'm wondering. But if you make one great movie, you could be Don Cascarelli or some shit. Like you could have that one great movie and then never do anything good again. But you're batting 100%. So I feel like if you have 3 good ones in a row, you're kind of killing it.
I think you're killing it, but I still don't think you're like a legendary status yet.
No. So okay. So what do we say? 5 maybe?
Yeah, I think you have to say 5 for like legendary status. Maybe 6.
Yeah. Like Kubrick, I mean, I can only name a handful of his movies, but I think he's considered like the greatest filmmaker one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. I know 2001, The Shining, Eyes Wide Shut. He directed part of AI. He directed, what else?
Why can't I think of Clockwork Orange?
Clockwork Orange. Barry Lyndon.
Trying to think. Barry Lyndon.
I don't know if that's right. I might have just pulled that name out of my ass.
Yeah, I think it seems like there's a couple people in chats. 5 sounds like what people agree with.
All right, we'll go with that. I think that's pretty fair. Alex says, can a great filmmaker have a bad enough movie to kill their legend? Actors like Nick Cage can damage their reputation. Can directors do that too? Yeah, I mean, I have one of my favorite and least favorite filmmakers are the same person, and I know that we've talked about this a little bit before, but I can't decide if Tim Burton's one of the greatest directors or one of the worst directors.
I don't know. For me though, if someone has like incredible film after incredible film, and then they have one just god awful one, for me it doesn't ruin it. You know, they don't need about 100 for me.
Yeah,
like. Because people who bat 100 typically aren't going to be taking as many risks, and I would rather have a filmmaker who takes risks.
That's a good point. I feel like Paul Thomas Anderson is a fucking boss, dude. I don't think he's ever made a movie that didn't just slap. Like The Master, Inherent Vice, fucking There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights is probably my least favorite on that whole list.
Magnolia.
I forgot he did Magnolia too.
He's fucking great, dude.
We
got to shout out Denis Villeneuve though.
Oh yeah, Denis Villeneuve has not made a bad movie.
Yeah.
Even movies that like I don't think are his best film, they're still like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, man.
Like and then for me, why can I not think of his name? He's one of my favorite directors. That I think's never. Wes Anderson is also never made a bad made a bad movie. Yeah, like I think everything he does is impeccable.
Thank you for that. The Cat Jumps 3, Spartacus and Barry Lyndon are both Kubrick films. That's right. Yeah, there's some good ones out there. I was just kind of curious about that because I was thinking about Jordan Peele, and he's one of these people that same with M. Night Shyamalan. When they came onto the scene, people allowed them so much as the next, fucking Alfred Hitchcock or whatever. And it's like when you do that and you bump people's confidence and self-esteem up so freaking high at the beginning, they don't feel like they have to work as hard anymore. And that is, I think, a big problem.
You see that in music too. Think about how many artists people start saying is the best, and then everything is just not. And for me, Lil Wayne was that way. Like Lil Wayne, The Carter 2 was an incredible album. And then he got super hyped up, and then every album was considerably worse and less interesting.
Yes, 100%. The Cat Drum said Tim Burton is the same as Spielberg, no longer making good films. They are the reason Tarantino doesn't want to keep making films because they got worse after reaching their peak. Yeah. What do they say? Like there's an expression, you just like stick around so long and you're out of touch or whatever. And I do feel
I
like
know what you mean.
Spielberg is a good example of a filmmaker who has made some of the like best adult dramas and family films.
To me, he is like the godfather of the modern blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Spielberg formula. It's like family friendly, big budget, heartwarming, a lot of comedy, but still action and adventure. Like he is the blueprint for that.
Definitely. And I also think he can wear the hat of the more espionage type stuff, like in particular Bridge of Spies, which was pretty slow.
True.
But I thought Munich was a great little
Munich's
movie.
incredible. Munich's incredible.
Yeah, very edgy for Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, I forgot that was even him. It doesn't even feel like a Spielberg film in the best way.
You threw out Michael Mann the other day in regards to Christopher Nolan, and I think that's a great point. They definitely have a lot of the same DNA, but I feel like Spielberg leans heavily into the Michael Mann stuff in Munich.
I could definitely agree with that.
Michael Mann's pretty badass too. He doesn't make movies, I don't think, really anymore.
God, what was the last one he made?
Was it Miami Vice? With Colin Farrell and I think it was Jamie Foxx.
Oh, was that him?
He did that. He did Collateral with Tom Cruise.
Collateral, actually, like.
My favorite Michael Mann movie, of course, is Thief. I think Thief is with James Caan is awesome, and the soundtrack's one of the best.
He's another one who's very hit or miss for me. Like when he hits really heavily, but when he doesn't, he just doesn't. You know?
Brad wants to know Michael Bay, great or bad director?
So there's two different ways. So for me personally, I mean, you guys probably know my answer. Not a big blockbuster guy. But if we're talking about success of films and success of franchises, that dude's a money printing machine. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I don't know if we're talking. Which, let's be real. All film is a product, whether we like to pretend it is or not. But specifically, the modern blockbusters, they are definitely a product. So if it's a product, I think the only way you can really judge it on is how well it sells. And I mean, you can make an argument the guy makes money.
I like Bad Boys 1 and 2. I like The Rock. I like Pain and Gain. I like some Michael Bay movies.
I actually don't think I think like he's not my style, but he's the one that puzzles me that everyone hates. Because I see a lot of people who love blockbusters and then will shit on Michael Bay and they'll be like, he does this, this, and this. I'm like, dude, like 50 of the blockbusters you like do Michael Bay stuff. I'm personally not a huge fan, but I also think he gets an unnecessary amount of hate.
Yes, because his movies do have a nice, aesthetic to them. They seem like they would definitely appeal to the demographic, 18 to 34-year-old males,
100%. Like I don't understand. Sometimes I feel like there's these things that catch on almost like in social media land where it's like the cool person to hate. It's like, oh, I'm going to hate Michael Bay because it says I have good taste in cinema.
Snyder is another of those kind of same
I would agree,
figures. To
100%.
a lesser degree, Michael Bay is like universally okay to shit on.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like I don't like him, but I feel like that's consistent with my taste in films. When I have a problem is I know people who I'm like, you should love every Michael Bay film. Like I don't get it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Peter Jackson needs to make a comeback. Peter Jackson's done some good and some bad as well.
Frighteners. I gotta love Frighteners. That was
me
Peter
too,
Jackson.
man. Yeah.
Dude, love Frighteners.
I like Dead Alive was the first Peter Jackson movie I saw. That's pretty gnarly.
Mine was Frighteners was my first Peter Jackson film. And then Dead Alive I went back and watched.
The first one I really liked was The Frighteners. That was more like when we were of an age where we'd even be watching movies. I saw Dead Alive when I was super, super young.
Yeah, so I saw Dead Alive because I loved Frightener so much. I was like, what else has this guy done? And I went back and watched Dead Alive. Dead Alive never quite hit the spot for me still to this day, but
Meet the
I have a soft
Feebles.
spot. Did he do Meet the Feebles?
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know he did that.
And Bad Taste is the other one.
Bad is a weird movie.
He's done some trash, dude. It was so crazy him coming out like doing Lord of the Rings, because he was like Sam Raimi in a way, you know?
Well, that's the thing is, like, I mean, would you have ever thought that that Peter Jackson would have gone on to direct arguably the most polished trilogy of all time?
I know.
You know,
it's crazy. No, I would have never thought it.
Never would have thought it. Like those films are impeccably made. Like, they're actually downright incredible. I saw all three of them in theaters, luckily, numerous times. No, I saw the first two twice, the Return of the King once, but they're impeccable. Who would have thought?
Yeah, dude, absolutely. That was, to me, that was a defining moment in cinema. Definitely Lord of the Rings, definitely the original Spider-Man movie. It was like around 2004, I guess, is when a lot of that stuff kind of started hitting the radar. Maybe Fellowship's older than that.
I think Fellowship's a little bit older. I think I was still in high school, not in my senior year. 2004 would have been my senior
year. Thank you. Thank you, Alex, for the thank you, the Cat Drums 3, for the quote from Dead Alive. See you, and I appreciate you. I kick ass for the Lord.
No, he's a interesting director.
Hey, what's up, Connor? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, he is. All right, let's see what else is going on. Mark McKeever mentioned over on Patreon that Netflix has made a deal with Rian Johnson and the people behind Knives Out. 2 sequels for $450 million.
2 sequels?
Yep.
To Knives Out?
They get a Knives Out trilogy for fucking $450. $450 million.
I was say $450. That's killer. I love Knives Out.
Okay. Me too.
Like, incredible. Do not want to see a sequel to it.
What about if they... Okay, I agree. I 100% agree. The thing that made Knives Out special was not its franchise potential. Get the fuck out of here.
No, exactly. I wasn't like, oh man, I really need a franchise of this.
But what if it's a different mystery author? What if they do the same thing with this that they're doing with...
It's like an anthology series?
Yeah, because there's the Murder on the Orient Express, and there's the same investigator. So maybe Daniel Craig is doing another case.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it'll be. It'll be Daniel Craig will be the only one returning.
Keep Ana de Armas in it, no matter how you have to work that out.
She can just stand there in the corner. They can put her. She can and I'll be happy.
It was funny. They tried to frump her up in...
Oh, I know. And she tries to be frumpy, and you're like, you're still like the most gorgeous woman, whatever.
Yeah.
She's a really good actress, too. She can actually act.
Wait, what?
You know?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she is fantastic. She's very good. Lover is Joy. Great movie. Rewatched Blade Runner 2049, I think, last week. I think I mentioned that as well, but yeah.
God, it's so good. Did you see that picture I sent you that I want to get for my office of the Blade Runner art?
No.
Well, you may not have got it because apparently it takes like... Dude, this painting is so dope. I think I'm going to put it right behind me on that where that picture is. It is so dope.
Aw, man, I'm not getting that footage for Godzilla versus Kong tonight, but what can you do? I got to go grab that in the morning. $450 million is a lot of money for me to wrap my head around when I still don't understand how you quantify what a movie's worth on Netflix.
Well, I mean, they have analytics like crazy. I'm sure they know what streaming numbers look like for it already.
But is there a person out there that's like, I mean, I've heard of Netflix for a while. I'm just waiting for them to put Knives Out on it before I sign up.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck is that person?
I don't think there is that person. I think there are people like me who's like, once a month, I'm like, I'm going to cancel Netflix. You know,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see you.
and then something happens. I'm like, I kind of want to see that.
Yeah.
Like for me, the Dark Crystal, which those bastards canceled, was my thing. I was like, I'm done with Netflix, and they announced that, and I'm like, well, now I got to keep it.
So your thought is retention, not new subscribers, and I think that's a
Yeah,
great call. I think that
that's
definitely
what it
makes
all
sense.
could be. Speaking of that, I don't know if you have this in the news, but did you see the subscriber jump for HBO Max for Snyder Cut?
No.
It was like 60%.
What?
Yeah,
Damn. A
yeah,
Snyder cut or maybe the whole slate. I mean,
yeah. But I mean, it was all like right before that. So,
yeah, that's awesome, dude. Holy
and
shit.
they're already seeing people cancel like crazy.
This right now, I am the most hype for movies. Well, now we're getting towards the tail end of it, but it was the Snyder cut, Godzilla and Kong
And
and Mortal Kombat
Mortal Kombat.
trifecta that had me just hype as fuck. And dude, I understand now what Warner Brothers is doing, and I think it's pretty ballsy and pretty cool. Like they are making movies for the fans of the properties that they make specifically, and not like, the Marvel formula works so great because they're making movies for everybody. They're like, yeah, this shit's kind of silly. You know what I
We're
mean?
going to cast a wide net. Like they don't want the comic book nerds' money. They want grandma's money. They want dad's money. They
Yes,
want the kids' money, which is a much smarter business plan.
it is. But then you get these movies from Warner Brothers that are like pulling deep cut references out of movies that are 50 years old and comic books that nobody's read and fucking video game sequels that
Yeah.
people forgot about. It's wild, dude. Like there were 3 or 4 nods to the Toho franchise in Godzilla versus Kong that it's like, who else would that even be for other than the most diehard fans of the shit? So that's pretty cool.
That's like I was watching. So I've been watching Solar Opposites. So I've been rewatching the first season. For anyone who doesn't know, that's the Rick and Morty creator, just a
Really
Roiland show on
good.
Hulu. It's incredible. And there when he does the existence uh thing reference, he's like, "This is like existence, existence," and I'm like, "Who knows besides like us who this random David Cronenberg film is?"
Yeah.
And I just love that they're like, "No, we're gonna do this. If you miss the joke, fine."
Is that's Existence is the one with the not the one with
The
the
video
fleshy
game.
guns in it.
Yes, that's it. The
Okay,
video
okay.
game, the
Uh-huh.
VR, essentially like crazy VR.
Yeah, I remember it.
Incredible film. I love that movie.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Nick actually just now joined the chat a moment ago. I keep looking at the wrong camera. Nick, what's up, dude? Yes, Ryan Johnson is attached, but I don't know that he's attached to direct it. They worded this very cleverly, and they say the films will reunite director Ryan Johnson and star Daniel Craig. Doesn't say that he's going to be directing, just says
He could be
gonna,
producing
yeah,
role.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would love to see Ryan Johnson continue as the director.
He's just an interesting director. I remember when I saw Brick, and I was just like, this movie's just impeccable.
It's really good. My buddy Jason is a huge fan of it. He actually turned me onto it.
I watched it. So I was this weird kid who would always just go to like the VHS and DVD store and just look at random covers and be like, I'm going to just rent like 15 movies and watch them. And that's how I found Brick. And it's incredible.
It's a good one. You guys should check it out. It's like a Joseph Gordon-Levitt, black and
High
white.
school film noir.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Mark. That's a really exciting story. I'm going to keep an eye out for what's going on with that Knives Out series. Brad mentioned that Godzilla versus Kong has had the biggest opening day box office since the start of the pandemic. It's pretty awesome. It's actually a substantial number. Caleb, can you guess what that one day opening that's the biggest since the opening of the pandemic is?
It can't be that big, even though it must be big for, I don't know. I mean,
it's hard to guess. I wouldn't
have no
able to
idea.
guess. Not $10 million, 9.6.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, it had to be super low.
And that's like killing it right now because I want to say 10 had opened at like 6.8 or something. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't near that level. Posted what opening day record was 9.6 million at domestic box office since mid-March 2020 when theaters closed and slowly returned in late August. So no other film has done this type of business, even though they can watch it at home, which is also really impressive.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not at the point where I'd be going out to the theaters yet, personally,
Yep.
but I'm ready for them to be back.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad about it. As far as they have a good enough system of protocols in place that I'm not uncomfortable about it.
Do you guys sit there and like, are you able to eat? Do you have to wear your mask the whole time? I don't know how it works.
It's bizarre. No, you have to wear your mask into the building, and then once you start stuffing your face with food, you don't anymore.
So it's like the restaurant rule where
Anywhere,
it's like,
yeah.
walk through the magical door, which apparently is where you're going to catch COVID. They're just pumping it in through the door. You have to wear your mask through there, and then as soon as you sit down, take off your mask. And you're like, was this really helping anything?
But I will say what they're doing now is 2 seats in front of you, 2 seats next to you, and 2 seats behind you open at all times. So like they're not fitting near as many people in the theaters, but that space is good enough for me. I hope their cleaning protocols are good.
I don't know. Sometimes movie theaters, you felt the sticky floor. You really think they have the best cleaning protocols?
Yo, when I was in New Orleans, and the live action Lion King was playing in the theaters, I went and saw it at an AMC Dine-In or something like that, which is a great theater. The recliner chairs, the Dolby sound system, the IMAX screen. It was 8K supposedly, very state-of-the-art theater. But like I dropped my cell phone or my keys or something, they slid out of my pocket, and I made the disgusting mistake of sliding my hand down there between the seats to grab it. And I was like caked up to my wrist in some unknown sticky substance. I'm sure it was soda. It could have been spooge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my still is the story, and I've told on here, where the people just started puking in the front row of the theater and then left and then came back and puked more.
Oh,
it's like,
nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's like, we had like 20 minutes left in the movie, and it's like, this whole place smells like puke, but I want to finish the damn movie.
You just ride it out.
I just pulled my shirt up, you know?
Oh, damn, dude. That sucks. So I do want to talk to you guys a little bit more about Godzilla, but before we do, I wanted to mention that in addition to Godzilla killing it at the box office, Warner Brothers has decided they're going to push Mortal Kombat back just a week later in April to give it a little more breathing room. Things are looking pretty good for Warner Brothers right now.
So what I heard, I don't remember where I read this, that the reason they're pushing it back is because of the Restore the Snyderverse thing that they're doing, that people are pushing for. People are threatening to cancel this month. And so they're like, hey, we're going to push it back into a new month, just an extra week, to try to give people another reason to stay on. That's what I heard.
That actually makes a lot of sense as well. I mean, it could be a case of double dipping. It could be a little of both, but what you said sounds pretty legit as well.
It makes so much sense to me.
I got a dumb question, though. How do monthly subscriptions work? Is it from the 15th to the 15th or the 1st to the 1st? Or what date of subscription for a month?
I think it's date of subscription. If you signed up on the 2nd, you'd get billed on the,
following second. Yeah. All right. Damn. I am stoked to see Warner Brothers in this situation right now. The tides are going to turn very soon because in 6 months, Marvel's got 4 fucking movies hitting the theaters. So the conversation isn't going to last long. But right now, like I said, this has been like the little trifecta of just movies that I feel they're so specific. And I kind of love that. Like, I know that Godzilla versus Kong is a Adam Wingard directed movie. Who talk about great directors. He's one that I actually really like. I don't know that his imprint can be seen on Kong versus Godzilla. And I say that to say that, like, even though, Justice League was this very specific vision of Zack Snyder's, I don't know that all of the stuff that comes from Warner Brothers is like that.
No, not at all. Adam Wingard, he directed the Death Note movie, didn't he?
Yeah, but he did more than that.
Ooh, that's all I remember him for. What else did he do?
That one's bad, dude.
That's bad.
He did segment. The first segment on the first VHS. He did a segment on VHS 2. He did You're Next. He did The Guest, Those two in particular. You're next in the
Blair
guest.
Witch.
He did Blair Witch. That's the other one. And those three. Oh, and Ty West did The Sacrament. Adam Wingard, Ty West, and Joe Swanberg are all like buddies, and they were the indie horror scene for like 2 years there, but they all kind of fell off the map.
Yeah, I mean, cool. I'm curious to see how he does with a blockbuster because I still haven't watched the last Godzilla, so I need to catch up on that.
So on that note,
better do it soon.
We'll talk about that for a minute. This is my favorite of the MonsterVerse movies.
Really?
Yeah.
What was so in order? Is it like Godzilla, then King of the Monsters?
That's tough. Okay, my least favorite of the MonsterVerse.
Kong.
Damn, it's tough. My least favorite of the MonsterVerse is probably Kong, and then King of the Monsters, and then 2014 Godzilla, and now my top is Godzilla versus Kong. And go ahead.
DNA wise, which one does it have the most in common with Godzilla versus Kong?
Skull Island, interestingly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, interestingly. So what happened is, and this is my very personal experience with it. When 2014's Godzilla came out, I watched it and I was blown away. And yeah, it's pretty slow and it's dark and it's dour and it's not a very fun movie. You're supposed to really care about the destruction of the cities and all that kind of shit. So it was like taking natural disasters and putting a face to them, like the tsunamis and the fucking hurricanes or earthquakes, and we've got these Mutos and Godzilla. So they really tried to ground it, and I loved it. Kong Skull Island was not that. Have you seen either of those two?
Yeah, I've seen both of those too. So I love the first Godzilla, the 2014 Godzilla. I think it's an incredible film. I think it's a bad Godzilla film.
Okay. Yeah.
But I really enjoy it. Kong Skull Island is dumb, loud, brash, but it's fun.
Yes.
You watch it once and never again.
So I agree with you about the 2014 being a good film, and I feel like what Gareth Edwards has done so much better than what anybody that followed up did is shooting the monsters from such a vantage point or compared to other things to really showcase their scale and say, these things are fucking huge, and nobody else has got that right.
Well, and it's very similar to just his other work. Like, you can talk about someone you can feel his fingerprints on it. That is a film where, to me, you definitely can.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I still think Monsters is my favorite of his.
That's a good one. So I've seen all Gareth Edwards movies, and he's very good. When Kong Skull Island came out, because it wasn't a Godzilla movie, I was just like, whatever, I'm along for the ride. I love the helicopter scene at the beginning when they first show up to Skull Island. That shit's badass. And I also really like the way they use primary colors. There would be like greens or oranges, which I know that's not a primary color. Greens or oranges or reds or blues.
The smoke scene, that's such a cool scene.
There's a lot of that in this new one. There's a lot of that neon lights and colorful smoke, and it's just a great aesthetic.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those ones that actually does kind of interest me. I love the design for Kong in the new film. Like, they kind of went less gorilla and did like more gorilla monster creature, and it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, the fights are great in it. And going into it, one of my biggest things is just the power balance. Like, you look at Godzilla and Kong, and you can even scale them to where they're reasonably close to the same size. Kong's much smaller, but like, not like he was in Skull Island. He's been scaled up to where you can fight with him. But I would have been like, Godzilla's basically armored from head to tail. He's got atomic breath. He's impenetrable. There's no way he can survive underwater. He could attack fucking Kong and just murder him. There'd be no possible chance that Kong could stand a chance against him. However, the way they play it in the movie completely convinces you otherwise.
So I didn't know they scaled him up. I kind of wish they would have kept him small because I just have this vision of like him literally like swinging around him like a monkey and just like being smaller than him and attacking him. And I think you could
That would
base
have
a
been
cool
cool.
action scenes off that.
So there's a little bit of that though, because he is smaller, but he's not like, you know, it was like Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul. You know what I mean? It was like that
Yeah.
size difference. But Kong, like, he uses tools, he lies in wait, he fucking sets up ambushes, like he's thinking, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, he's the more higher intelligence of the species.
Yes.
That's a cool angle to take.
And Godzilla runs around on all fours at one moment in the movie, and that's the first time in 60 plus years that that's ever been done.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying though.
It's fucking crazy looking, bro.
It
He's
sounds
like
cool,
a
yeah.
huge gator just running through the city. So
You're
there's some
making me
neat
kind of want to
stuff.
watch it.
It's very
But I need
fun.
damn it, they're gonna make me extend my damn membership, aren't they?
It's very
Because
fun,
I gotta
man.
watch Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I'll probably go back and watch. Maybe tonight after this, I'll watch King of the Monsters.
Let me know what you
Well,
think about that.
If my wife's asleep, because my wife, there's no way she's watching King of the Monsters with me.
Weird as hell. You know, we both had AMC stubs for a while. It's the weirdest thing. I walked out of King of the Monsters.
I think it makes perfect sense. It is a walkoutable movie, and this is someone who like kind of likes it, but it's a bad movie. I like it the same way I like the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, because at this point, I've seen King of the Monsters probably 15 times, and there was part of me that knew, like, I'll fucking be back. I'll see the end of it another time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, but I was like, I felt beat into submission by about the 2-hour mark. I was just like, fuck, this is still going on. I felt like an old person. I just got up and walked out.
I can tell I'm one of those people where like this is my big walk. When I had Movie Pass, I can't tell you how many movies I walked out of because like when you're not paying for them, you're like whatever.
Yeah.
And this is where I even more honed my taste in movies. If you're just throwing at me nonstop action scenes, I'm like, dude, I'm out.
Yeah.
Done. Like I'm done. Like I feel like an old person. Like I just can't sit here and watch monsters fight for that long.
I talked to a couple people that said the first act of Godzilla versus Kong is very slow, and some of my favorite stuff is in that part of it. So
that's always me. When people are always like the beginning's slow, I'm always like, this movie's incredible, and then the action starts. I'm like, I'm bored.
Yeah. I just want to get to the monsters fighting each other, and I get that. We definitely want to see the monsters fight each other.
So I actually walked out of Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Did you?
And I paid for that ticket. Yeah.
It's long, dude.
I was just watching and I was just like, yeah, fuck this. And just left. Like, I did not like it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. Since then, yeah,
And?
Still don't like it.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I don't like that movie.
Yeah, I ended up coming around on King of the Monsters. I think, back around to my personal experience with Godzilla. So the first one, I liked it. It was grounded. I thought that's what they were doing. When King of the Monsters came out, it was not that at all. It was much more a celebration of the franchise's history. It didn't feel like it had that same DNA as the 2014 film. It felt like they were trying to do a movie for the fans that didn't quite hit for me the way that I would have hoped it did. I think I just got acclimated to it. I think because I knew what to expect going into Godzilla vs. Kong, that I was just like, all right, this is going to be much more over the top in tone. This isn't trying to be serious. And I just had a lot of fun with it.
That's the thing is when you start a franchise in tonal shift, it's real hard. I saw what Emo Peter put, and I agree with this. He said, I think Pacific Rim is the best modern day kaiju movie. I've always said this.
Pacific Rim?
I said it Pacific Rim, I go, is the best Godzilla movie out. Like it just is, you know? And well, at the time I've only seen 2014. Like, and what I mean by the best Godzilla movie, I'm not talking just that captures that zany, over the top, little bit tongue in cheek, little bit of cringe, all of that. I feel like Pacific Rim just really captures that.
Martial Arts Film Freak in the chat, and he brought up Colossal, which is actually a really cool movie.
9.5 out of 10.
Oh, you really like it?
Love Colossal.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. You just now said something that was so on point. About Pacific Rim. The fact of the matter is they borrowed some elements of that for... Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just coincidence. But they almost used the rifting or the drifting thing
really
in this movie. Similar, yeah. But it's the most... I think you'll appreciate just how fucking anime the storyline is. It's all over the place and completely crazy.
Is it all over, crazy, melodramatic, all of it?
It just the center of the earth is hollow, and that's where King Kong's ancestral family live. But their family used to do battle with the Godzilla's family.
Yeah, it's
so
already,
you got to rift into the fucking brains of the kaijus. It's insane, bro.
No, it's definitely sounds like a crazy anime story, which I love.
Yeah, and people are like, the characters aren't very compelling, which is 100% true, but it's like when your script has to be so focused on how the fuck you're going to make these characters end up in the same place at the same time, you know?
Yeah, no, yeah, it definitely is one that I'm excited about checking out. Just, I need to, as a big former fan of, like, I still watch Godzilla films. I'd say you're definitely a bigger fan than I am now, but I used to be just like a massive kaiju fan.
Singular Point on Netflix coming out very, very soon, which is a new Godzilla anime, 2D.
Oh, I like the 3D ones. I actually really like the 3D ones. They're different, but I really enjoyed them.
So before we wrap this thing up, you guys, I know it hadn't been super long this evening. Let's have some conversations in the chats. I know that I've seen some good contributions in regards to the Monsterverse. What did you guys think? Were you rooting for Kong or were you rooting for Godzilla? Because I know going into it, I was very very in the Godzilla camp, and the movie does an excellent job within about 15 minutes of making you like, why would I want Godzilla to beat this cool ass monkey? You know what I mean?
So I feel like in Kong versus Godzilla, like before and all that stuff, when they've done it, they were both pretty even. But now Kong is a much more sympathetic character.
Yeah.
He just is. Even in the original one, you know, like it's the same thing as like Frankenstein's monster. He's a monster, but he's not the bad person. It's the people in it. That's Kong's whole thing.
Yep. Yeah. And they pair him up with like a little Iwi native girl who signs with him. So he knows how to sign language, and he's talking about his family and his home. And you're like, ah, and Godzilla's just trying to fucking wreck him.
He's just like, I mean? I'm just going to destroy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, because like he's like a heat-seeking missile, dude. Like he can just detect. That's what King of the Monsters is all about. He can just detect other kaiju, and he just starts cruising through the ocean just to fucking find them and destroy them. You know, just like he did to those Mutos in the first one. I felt bad for the Mutos, man.
Yeah, I could see that.
They were just trying to, you know, have kids and shit.
Now, this is one, now you're getting, I had no desire to see it just because I saw it in King of the Monsters, and now I'm kind of like, nah, I need some good Godzilla.
Yeah, dude. It's good shit. We're going to continue a conversation. Hopefully Caleb will have seen it by Saturday, but you guys make sure that you have checked it out.
I do, I'm not joining in. I have to watch my kid on Saturday.
Dude, get your fucking priorities in check.
I'll just have her here and she'll just scream at me the whole time.
Yeah. Yes. That's what everybody wants to see. Well, dude, I appreciate you hanging out. I think we are going to cut it a little bit short this evening. I'm going to start editing the rest of my Passion of the Christ video so that I can get that out on Sunday. And I think I'm probably going to put on Godzilla vs. Kong. Check that out.
Yeah, I'm going to do some cable management underneath my desk. That's what I'm going to do.
It's looking good, man. It's looking good. You're making a house a home over there, bro.
Dude, and now I got a LED light for back there. I need to buy, my other camera light broke, so I'm super dark in here because there's no window. I need to buy a light for here. And then I got an LED light coming for back there. I'm going to paint this entire damn house.
Nice.
And then we're going to be pretty good.
Are you doing different colors?
Random Manning Channel says, where's my topic?
Oh, you know what? We do have one more before we wrap this thing up. Actually, two more. Okay. Patrick Stewart.
I don't think we didn't do any of the topics.
So some of them were in the movie news headlines. So we got Patrick's, we got Mark McKeevers, and we got Brad FedEx, and now we're talking about Random Andy's channel. He wants to know, when it comes to reviews, Letterboxd or IMDb, which is better?
So my personal opinion is, you know, this is my thing. Who gives a shit about reviews? You can't find an aggregate score that's ever going to match what you do. What you do is you find one or two reviewers who have similar tastes in you, and then you concentrate on their reviews.
I like that take. I have a huge bias against IMDb. I feel like it's full of, and I know Letterboxd could be as well, but nobody treats Letterboxd as if it's an actual Wikipedia or something like on
Very
movie
true.
information. IMDb has terrible information. They have pre-production movies and casting that are inaccurate. They completely skew fucking user reviews. And I guess it's all part of it. I like the aggregate scores, and I also like the knowing 3 or 4 reviewers that I trust and that I follow, because I have found that even the ones, and I'm sure you have as well, even the ones that I align with most often have still been completely opposite of me.
100%. We do it ourselves. There's movies that I'll be like, dude, you're gonna love it. You're like, I hate it. Or you'll tell me this is your type of movie and I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, it just happens.
Yeah.
I know personally for me, I use Letterboxd. I love Letterboxd. I don't use IMDb.
Yes.
I do think Letterboxd is a little more hardcore fan base to me.
Yeah. And that's probably a good thing. King of the Hills 34, $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Great podcast, he says. Appreciate that, man. It's even better when you guys are here checking it out and contributing to the conversation. So I appreciate that. Looks like a lot of love for Letterboxd in here. Brad goes IMDb. Let's see. Got a lot of Letterboxd love. Channel and Random Annie's channel. IMDb sucks since about 5 years ago. I like Metacritic, says Nick. That's a good one as well. I'm a big Rotten Tomatoes guy. I know that's definitely one that people have mixed feelings about. I don't use it as the gospel. I would normally read through a dozen reviews,
That's the way to do it, because if you use it as like fresh, because you'll have a film that will have the same score as a film. 2 films have the same score. One's certified fresh and one's like mild or whatever it's called, or not rotten. But like there can be the same exact score and have different just depending on the way they do the aggregate. So
absolutely, yeah. Like a 3 can be, or I think a 3 can be either a positive or a negative.
And positive or negative. So you'll see movies with the same exact overall score that look very different.
What is a positive on a 5-star scale? What is a positive review for you?
3.
Yes.
I'd say 2. So whenever I rate a movie, I'll tell you the way I think of it. So when I say something's a 5 out of 10, that doesn't mean I dislike it. That means it's just an average. I could take it or leave it.
You're indifferent to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just indifferent to it. And anything above there is positive. Anything below there is negative. 5 is just indifferent to it.
I think I want to get even a little bit more specific in my analysis of movies, but like, for example, I really, really want, let's just say the new Batman movie to be good. Like, I really want it to be good. It's a Batman movie. Batman movies are always fucking good, so this movie's got to be good. And I go in there, and I see it, and it's pretty good. I might give it a more negative review and still give it a decent amount of points because it was good, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, so I may reflect on it a bit more negatively, even if my review's in the positive.
That makes perfect sense. We all take in our, baggage when we go into a film of what we and expectations. So that definitely does change things.
Because I can see myself giving a movie a 6 and being like, I was surprised by the fact that it was good. Like if I saw Bumblebee or something, the new Transformers movie. It was good. It wasn't fucking great. It was just better than I expected it to be,
There was a movie recently that I watched that I was like, oh, I didn't hate it. So if you hear me talk about it, you'd think I loved it. And I'm like, no, it was just, I didn't hate it. And I was kind of surprised because I kind of went in being like, I'm not going to like this. I forgot what it was. But no, I agree.
In the kind of vein of the Knives Out trilogy that we have announced, Patrick Stewart said that Ryan Reynolds is currently attached and developing a Clue adaptation. Everybody big fan of the board games Clue. Caleb, what do you think about another adaptation?
I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if I really need board game adaptations. The only thing that sounds less appealing than video game adaptations.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, bro. I think I'm going to echo that sentiment. But I will say Clue has got all of the elements of an Agatha Christie murder mystery or whatever the author's name is from Knives Out. I feel like you can always do a good murder mystery. The Problem is now though is like we're so conditioned to know the list of suspects, the red herrings, you know what I mean? Like all of it becomes a little tropey that they've got to do like really weird shit. And like in Knives Out, they subvert the whole killer thing in general, you know?
Knives Out could have been a Clue movie. You could have just rebranded it. Like
absolutely
and that's all this is this is just branding. They're gonna take some script that they have lying around with dust on it. That's a murder mystery and go, this is a mediocre script. Let's throw a Clue on it. That's what they're gonna do.
Yes. Do you have to dig up Tim Curry? Well, I think Tim Curry is actually still alive somehow. I feel like Tim Curry was such a big reason why I love the first Clue movie as much as I do.
Haven't seen that since I was like little kid. I don't even remember it.
Oh, it's great, man. It's really good. Tim Curry. And they did an interesting thing, Caleb, that they had multiple different endings play at different theaters.
Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah. It's almost like a choose your own adventure. And it also drives people back to the theaters for returning box office dollars.
It's cool, but it's also annoying as hell.
Yeah. Tim Curry, born in 1946. That's a long time. 85, maybe 75.
The diss track said he would like the Batman movie to be film noir in the vein of Maltese Falcon. First of all, Maltese Falcon is an incredible film.
It's a pretty damn good movie.
Incredible film. Love that. Yeah.
Brad Feddick, $5 super chat. What about the Battleship board game to film? Almost Perfect. You seen that?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've seen the trailer, which I think is pretty much seeing that movie.
I love that Brad's being unironic about this. Let's laugh. Let's laugh at Brad together. No, I've never seen it either. I'm just kidding.
No, I haven't either. But that's what they should do with Clue. They should just get Rihanna and Tyrese to be in it and just take it the same exact cast of Battleship.
Oh, Brad is fucking with us. It is April Fool's Day. I should have planned better, man. I should have planned better. I've been thinking about Easter all week.
I know. Easter's what, this Sunday?
Yeah, and when I say I've been thinking about Easter all this week, I literally decided yesterday I was going to record that video for
I didn't even know it was Easter coming up. I'm horrible.
No, I will check. He said, no, I'm not. I haven't seen it. I can't speak to it. I know that Rihanna's in it, and that's pretty much all I know about it.
That's all I know about it. It looked like a Michael Bay movie. That's what it looked like.
Yes. Martial arts film freak said Liam Neeson in Clue would be hilarious. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. That's a good call. 100% serious. Seen it 8 times. Hold up.
I kind of want to see Battleship now.
I actually did hear it was a good adaptation. Okay, so we've got Battleship, we've got Clue. Any other board game adaptations?
No, are there any other? I don't know. Who plays board games?
I remember they had announced a Candyland adaptation that didn't happen.
They should make it and make it a horror film.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I want.
What other board games are there? Monopoly. They had bought the rights to Monopoly. There was also
just make like a Wolf of Wall Street movie and call it Monopoly.
That's a really good point. Yes, like what's it called? Wall Street. Just the
yeah. Wall Street, Wolf of Wall Street, all of those.
Let's see what. Oh well, I was gonna look something up. I totally forgot what it was. Wall Street.
I don't know. Board games.
Yeah. Board. Oh no, there was a Tetris trilogy that was supposed to come out. Do you remember that?
There was. What the hell were they gonna make a Tetris thing for?
This was 2016, according to Variety. Tetris movie will be a trilogy. What the fuck?
Why?
What could that even be?
It has to be a comedy, right?
I don't know how you turn that into a story.
I don't know either. There's some of these things that are just such cash grabs. You're like, I feel bad for the people who are trying to write the script.
They're like, hey guys, look, I'm really sorry to do this to you, but we just spent $600 million on a Tetris trilogy, so make that work.
Oh, Thundercats movie's coming too. Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh yeah.
I actually think a live action. So I started watching. I told you a while back the 2011 reboot cartoon of Thundercats. It's really good. It's very, very like an epic. And seeing that, I'm like, yeah, they absolutely can make a really good Thundercats movie.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's shockingly good.
I was just now watching season 2 of the CGI Ultraman on Netflix.
I haven't seen it. How is it?
Man, I'm just all up in some fucking anime and Japanese shit right now, and it's great. It's really, really good.
Except for the one that you need to watch, which is incredible, which is Attack on Titan.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I guess I probably should actually watch that if I'm going to say
Dude,
that I'm like all up in it.
Telling you, this story goes in some ways that I guarantee you will never guess.
I'm into it, man. Everything I've seen, I loved. I really do need to just go ahead and freaking.
It gets weirder.
Plunge.
That's what I'll tell you. It gets way weirder.
In a good way.
In a good way, but just like, what the hell's going on in the best way?
Really?
Yeah.
Diss track, you are correct. The Ouija board movies did happen, but I take offense to you referring to a Ouija board as a video game because everybody knows that they're actually conduits to the spiritual astral plane.
I've never used a Ouija board. Have you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course you did. You were out there watching Crow with your black nail polish using Ouija boards.
And dude, I'm going to tell you right now, nothing happened.
Oh, what a shocker.
Yeah. I wasn't that goth that I'm like, it's moved.
Yeah, I never did it.
The problem is we had a Parker Brothers Ouija board. And then I realized, like, that's who makes Ouija boards.
Parker Brothers? I don't even know who makes Ouija boards.
I think that's right. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for coming by and hanging out. It's been real and it's been fun like always. I hope you have an excellent rest of your week. We're coming into the weekend tomorrow. And, spring's in the air. We've got Easter coming up around the weekend. Tomorrow's Good Friday. Weekend fucking starts tomorrow. Caleb, are you working tomorrow?
I think so. As far as I know, yeah.
It's Good Friday.
Before we head out, the distract said I need to watch Vast of Night on Prime. I actually really, really, really want to see this film.
Vast of Night?
Yeah, looks incredible.
Did you watch Invincible?
No, I didn't.
All right. That's cool.
No. I got so much shit I need to watch.
There's so much shit to watch. It's insane. It's
just too much. It's like we would have to just literally, like, if we could podcast full time, this was our job. Yes, I would watch it all.
We would have to watch it as we podcasted, though.
Dude, I said that would be cool. We'd do watch-alongs all day, every day.
Fuck yeah, dude. I realized I could have done a Godzilla versus Kong watch-along. I could have just screen recorded the whole thing on my computer. Didn't think it would have fucked up the experience, though.
No. So, there are movies you really like. You can't do watch-alongs.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys. And until next time, and on behalf of both of us,